there's a big nest back there. She's looking pretty wide, guys. Oh yeah, it does go the whole way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just need to take from where it stops, pretty much where the green panels stop, to the back.
Right. One of the local neighborhood dogs has been coming onto our property underneath the cow fence over here. A lot of cattle fences aren't pressed into the ground for a few reasons. One reason is the cows can get their feet kind of tangled up in it, and so it kind of makes for the perfect space for a dog to get under. But the dog's been terrorizing our goats and in the past has dug up our garden, so Levi's putting up a little bit of fencing to help prevent that. We have picked a couple of Kajari melons from over here and they're lovely. We've still got a couple more on here. Really, we are probably about a month away from our first frost. Even though it's 90 degrees today and it's going to be 90 degrees the next couple of days. This is one of the issues that we have with trying to grow things well into the fall, is sometimes it's just so hot that our fall and winter stuff just kind of struggles, and then winter hits with a ton of bricks. Over here we have what is supposed to be 2 honey melons. Now, I've never grown honey melon before. It looks kind of like a Kajari, to be honest, just without a lot of striping. It's pretty. I don't think that one's ready. Nope, doesn't smell ready, and it's not popping off the plant. This one looks a little suspicious to me. This one resembles a Kajari, but it also sort of looks like an armpit melon. However, it's not fuzzy like an armpit melon. This is interesting. This seed came out of the honey melon packet, and the melons look really different. So I don't know. That's what's going on the cow side of the lane. Oh no, he's making it so that dog doesn't come over here, okay? I've done quite a few things out in the greenhouse in the last couple of days. My goal is to have it planted by the 1st of October. I don't know if we're necessarily going to meet that goal, but we should be able to have it planted before our first frost. Over here I have all of our broccoli. So this is broccoli here, and then this bed is all broccoli right here. Over here, I believe that these are cabbages, but it might be Brussels sprouts. I didn't do a great job labeling my fall and winter things. A lot of it needs the same amount of spacing, and so I just sort of threw the seeds in just to get them in, and I'm glad that I did. Some of the starts are down here. I need to water. And I also poked in some peas along this trellis, and I scattered some lettuce seed down here. So these beds will be filling now in no time. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I'm trying to do it in stages. So far, it seems like my fake snakes and the terror eyeballs that I have in the greenhouse are keeping the birds away. That's one of the major issues that I have with plant starts at all. No matter where they are, in here or in the raised bed garden, birds like to terrorize my seedlings. And last year, when I planted a fall garden in the greenhouse, I don't think it was birds. I don't know if it was really pulleys, but my suspicion is that rodents were coming in here, and every morning there'd be 5 or 6 more seedlings just chewed off and not eaten. It's like they were just sawed off and left for dead, and that was really disappointing. So fingers crossed. These guys have been in here for a few days, not just in the seed trays, but in the actual beds, and so far it doesn't look like the birds are really having a feast at all. Got some more things going on over here. These are the carrots that we put in. I have thinned them out. I may need to thin them out again. Everything is about an inch and a half apart right now. And then we've got our romaine lettuces, some other brassicas and things over there. And then this is kohlrabi that I just up potted into these larger pots as they wait for me to get the rest of the beds filled. Over in this taller bed, I stuck in what I think is some cabbage. And you can see the little pieces of, looks kind of like straw that I have down here. This is actually stems from some alyssum that I grew here in the greenhouse at the base of our peach trees. These here are our bonfire peach trees. I need to get this tomato out of here, it's in the way, but I had trimmed the alyssum off as I was told to do. It's supposed to help the plants encourage new blooms or whatnot. It didn't really work. The plants never really recovered from that, but I kept those really long kind of stemmy parts of the plant, and because there's a bunch of seeds in there. And I've used that kind of like a mulch around these plants, and there's a ton of seeds and they're already starting to germinate. So we're gonna be having some living mulch in here in the form of some beautiful frost-tolerant alyssum flowers. Living mulches and cover crops and things are something that I'm really trying to get more into. I have been mulching with a hardwood bark mulch for a couple years, and I do like it. It's something that doesn't blow away and does a really good job helping retain moisture. The only thing is that it takes a while to break down and add back to the soil, and in doing so, the wood mulch is robbing some nutrients from the soil. And I'm just trying to do different things and see what I like better. So we're leaning more into the living mulch going into winter and next year. Just trying to keep everything well watered. The alyssum seed is just surface sown, and it's been so hot, I don't want it to dry out. See, there's a bunch of it germinated down there. This is gonna be gorgeous. Excuse you. No. Looks like our kale is starting to get some of its true leaves. A couple more spinach maybe have germinated. These guys can hang out in here just a little while longer. I like your fence stretcher.
It works.
Hello. What's up, Win? What's up, Winnie? So today is the 21st that I am filming, and we have baby goats due on the 27th. So in less than a week. Christine, how are you leaking milk right now? This goat. It's not milking time. I know you're anticipating it. Margie here is due the 27th. I did see her bred, so I know her due date is accurate. Right in front of her here is Stormy, and Stormy is due around the same time. I never saw her bred, so I don't have an exact date for her, but Stormy is looking really good as well. Her udder is developing. She hates when I show it, so we might not get a peek at it today. But I'm in the barn with my 4th can of wasp spray this fall, because the wasps have just absolutely taken over this barn, and part of the area that they've taken over is my kidding area, and I need to get ready for kidding season, and I don't want to have goats kind of trapped in with some wasps. I don't want to be sitting in there and get surprised that there's, you know, wasps behind the wall or something, because they've been very bad this year. So I'm trying to do what I can to spray the nest that I can see so that we can actually get in here and prepare for the baby goats. There we go. We got a little bit of a peek. She's looking good. I don't know which one is going to go first, to be honest, but I'm watching them both. Woof, Winnie, it's not about you right now. So I've just now sprayed that nest there, which wasn't over the kidding area. There's a nest right up there. There was a nest right there. There's currently at least 2 nests in the corner there. And I'm a wuss. I hate wasps. They are easily one of my least favorite things. There had been a nest just on this T-post right here. I've had these stalls closed all year. Normally I like to leave them open, but for whatever reason, after this last kidding season, I had left them closed, probably because I needed to clean them out. And then the wasps came, and I decided I wasn't gonna deal with that right then, but now I have to deal with it. Wasps are beneficial. They really are. I hate to admit it myself. I've physically seen them come into my garden, take a cabbage looper off of a plant, and fly away with it. They feed their babies protein, and they are actually beneficial for the garden. They will pollinate things, so I try to coexist with them, but this year it's really bad. They say that if you leave the wasp nest up, that the wasps are territorial and they won't build a nest there again, but we've had at least 7 nests in the barn this year, brand new ones, so I don't know within what radius that is true, because it seems like they're all over the place, but I gotta deal with it. This here is my main kidding stall. where I like to have the girls give birth. There's a couple reasons for that, but the main reason is I have a camera up here that I can see what's going on with the goats. No matter where I am, I can be, you know, in the next state over, or even across the country, and access that camera and see what's going on. And I can see best just straight down into this stall. So I like to make this my primary kidding stall, which means that it's been used a lot. And all of this bedding and refuse hay from the springtime really isn't broken down very much. The barn is dry, especially in this area. We do have a couple leaks and things, but it hasn't had the opportunity to really break down because there's just not a lot of like organic matter and moisture mixed in with this dry stuff in order to break it down. So I am filling a lot of the raised beds in the greenhouse with manure and things and with barn clean out, but I am gonna leave this out because it still has to break down. Putting this in the garden bed just means that these things would take up a lot of the available nitrogen and stuff to break themselves down and take that nitrogen away from the plant. So this is gonna go to the compost pile. There was a wasp nest right above where the girls eat, right here. And I sprayed that earlier. I did not have the camera and they chased me. Like, we have a few different types of wasp here, the red ones, and then there's these, they're almost brown with like little yellow segments on their legs and then like a yellow face. Those will chase you. That was really, I did not enjoy that. So we're just trying to see if we've gotten them all. Oh, oh!
I didn't see it moving. Ooh, there's a big one behind this red bucket.
There's a big nest back there?
Like that.
There's a nest. Hold on, wait. I need to make our escape. Oh no, they're gonna get you. Levi said that he had heard on podcasts and things that the wasps are extra bad this year. I'd love to hear your opinions because they seem extra bad here. I just filled that mineral too. Yeah, that's a big one. I cannot believe they didn't come out and get me, or they might have gotten the goats.
Yeah.
All right, so the hallway and these back two kidding stalls are presently being worked on, but this one is fully cleaned out and I can add the things that I need to add to it. So it has been a pretty dry few months for us here, but we had a wet spring and there is a decent like crack in our roof where we have tried to repair it and it just won't stop leaking. The roof to this barn is really, it's too flat. It needs more of a pitch and we have plans to fix that in the future. So really the main part of the roof leak is over this middle stall, but some of like the moisture does sort of seep sometimes. So I'm going to be adding down this lime, this barn lime, and it is safe for the goats. The cup that it came with, I guess, fell apart, but that's okay. And when it comes time to clean this stall out again, all of this is fine for the garden as well. This stuff keeps moisture away and it also helps handle things like mites. So it's good as like an insecticide as well. And I've got this real big bag of shavings. So why do I use shavings instead of something like straw? I've used straw in the past. My issue is because I use my barn clean out for my garden, I need to guarantee that the straw that I'm buying is a no spray type straw, which is really hard to find when you live in big ag country because they spray all the fields around here, so anything local is probably not safe. So pine shavings can be a little bit of a painting sort of stick to the baby goats and things, but I have my ways of keeping the baby goats as clean as possible. And this stuff smells really good. I got the finer stuff this time instead of the larger flake. This one was just called Fine, and it smells like it has cedar in it too, which you'll see some people say not to use cedar in the garden. I have used cedar wood chips as mulch before, and it worked really well. It broke down fine, so I'm not worried about this blend probably containing cedar. It smells really good. It's not all cedar. They do say that cedar can affect the respiratory systems of your animals, so you want to be careful. There's just cedar in this blend. I can smell it. How you doing? It's scary in here. You guys don't want to come in here, I promise. Look at her. Oh, Stormy. Girl. I gotta watch Stormy pretty closely because I had put them together a week. They were together a week before I saw Margie bred. And so there's a possibility that Stormy really is due before Margie. And she's filling out a lot. You just go ahead and follow them. We're not done yet. Trust me, you don't want to be in here. I was just telling Levi that every time I turn these heat lamps on after being out of commission for a little while, the bulb will stay on, but it pretty much always goes out. So I like to have extras. Now it's super hot here right now, so I don't necessarily need the heat lamps for heat, but I like to have them for light because my barn is pretty dark and it's kind of nice to be able to see things, especially if something crazy is going on. I really like these heat lamps. I got them from Premier One. The light bulb sits really high up, and then this conical type cover is really hard to get off, as you can see. And we have actually had them fall. Now I've got them secured really well, but I have had them fall before onto straw, and the barn did not catch fire, which was obviously awesome. Alrighty, so you can see we've got the lamp secured to the hog panel here. I like these clips because they're threaded, and so it's not just as simple as pushing on it and the goats being able to get it off. It actually takes holding on to it and unscrewing it to get it off. Plus, I have the cord kind of tangled up here, and then it's tangled up here. So we've got like double and triple security that if they get the clip off somehow, it's not gonna drop. Both lights are working for now. It's not your turn, ma'am. Not yet. Oh, look. A prize. Hey, girls. And Feral, Fury, Elpis. Little Beaker, hello. Oh, Miss Winnie. All right, so as far as our pregnant mamas, at the end of the day, they always look really big because their rumens are really full. Margie She has had triplets for me once before. She normally has twins. She is bred to our mini La Mancha feral, who's right here. He's 70% La Mancha. So I honestly can't decide if I think she's having 2 or 3. I'm leaning towards 2 though, since she's due in a week. So there's Marge. Right next to her is Stormy, who, you know, she kind of looks suspiciously like she's gonna go first. See how wiggly her tail is? I know that her udder could get bigger. She comes out of our doe Barely, who has had twins and triplets before. Stormy herself is a triplet. Oh, and she's got Nigerian babies in there, so I think she has 3. She's looking pretty wide, guys. She really is. See if she'll let me feel her leggies. Oh, nice leggies. I feel them. So they've got a ligament on either side of their tail. I can feel it right there and right there. This one is a little bit softer. And as she gets closer, those ligaments will soften up so much it's like they disappear. Now, I've had goats go into labor before and be in active labor when you can still feel their ligaments, but they soften up a lot when they're getting into like the pushing phase. Margie's pretty hands-off. She probably won't let me touch her, but I can tell because I'm used to her that her udder is not as popped as it's going to be. Her udder is going to get real big when it comes time for babies, and she's not due for another 5 or 6 days at this point. So that's all that we have as far as fall kidding. Just 2 goaties. Sometimes we have more, but I've sold off quite a few. I've actually sold off a lot of Margie's does, so I'm hoping she's got some does on board for me there at a feral. Look at him. So far, even with a buck and rut, having access like this, fence to fence access to our milking does, our milk has not tasted bucky at all. In fact, the milk has been quite delicious. So they've got a huge paddock over here, and then he has a huge paddock over here. So I think that maybe if they were in close quarters, it would be more likely to taint the milk. But so far, he's just giving himself some cologne and hasn't affected the flavor of our milk, has it, baby? No. I'm giving Feral a little bit more time with Elpis and Fury. There was a lot going on there for a couple days, and I did not physically see him breed either of these two. So I just want to make sure that they're going to settle for us. What are you eating? There's so much good stuff out there, and you're eating the dried brown stuff on the fence. You weird. So one of the things that I would really like to have Levi do before these babies are born is mow out here. So, you know, it's not too bad right now. It's not like it's super, super tall. There's Winnie. She's our smallest goat. And you can see our mama goats. Imagine a couple babies following her around. It's not like they're going to get lost out here in this specific spot. But when we get further out this way, back towards the west side of our pond, we have a lot of this taller broom sedge. I would love for this to come down. Now you can see Jupiter here. He's eating it. The goats will eat it when it's green. So I'd really hate to mow it down, really, because it is providing somewhat of a forage. But really, it's not the best forage, and it is starting to seed, and I'd really like to not let it seed our pasture, and I don't want any baby goats getting lost out here. I do have some really awesome beeper collars that I put on the baby goats. If they do get lost, I can hit the button, and I can hear where they are out in the field. These baby goats will be getting the collars, so even if we don't get to mow, we'll be able to find them. Those collars have found babies and saved lives in the past, because we have a lot of field out here. They have access to about 4.5 acres out here, and then there's about 1.5 acres over there that I do have them fenced off of for now. But this is a big enough area for a little baby goat to get lost, so we really don't want that. Oh, but it's gorgeous, ma'am. You look so good. This will be her first freshen. Stormy is polled, so she has a chance for having hornless babies. We've got a chance for lovely moon spots because Stormy's covered with them. And there's a 100% chance of cute because Stormy's adorable and she's bred to our blue cactus buck nefarious. There's actually a hold on her babies. There's a hold for a buck and a hold for a doe. If she happens to have another doe, I probably won't keep it. I'll opt to sell it. Because I do have Foxy here, and I have Winnie, who is out of Nefarious, that I would like to retain does out of. So I just can't make any promises that I'll keep any does coming out of Stormy beyond the one that's already claimed. How many got in there, Marge? At least one doe, right? Can we get one doe? One adorable mini La Mancha doe out of our Marge, huh? We'll see. She is due the 27th, and I normally like to post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If my posting schedule gets a little funny, you don't see me on one of my normal scheduled days, I'm probably busy with one of these girls.